Hello everyone, welcome in. Right, this is my previous daily phone that I used to have. This is a Sony Xperia Z2, and what I'm going to do is replace the battery in it, simply because the battery is not holding the charge as well as it used to. The battery is the original one when I bought the system. Here I'm showing you my new phone, which is an upper, which I use as my daily. Now this Sony Xperia used to be my daily, but now it's retired. What I actually use it for is to take on holiday with me, simply because it's got expandable memory. I can put an SD card in it, have more memory for my photos and stuff, especially when I go on my cruises. There's a lot of places we go, and instead of having to carry around a camera with me, which I do have, there are times when I don't have my camera with me and I've got my phone, so I can quickly bring it out and start taking photos. So that's really what it's for. So I just keep basically sort of like any emergency contacts. As I say, it's mainly for taking photos on holidays. So I don't have any sort of like any other apps on it or anything. I don't have any other phone numbers, like customer phone numbers or anything. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've never done this before. This is my phone. I don't offer this as a service for anyone else. And because I actually bought this phone, it wasn't on contract. I actually bought this phone, so it's actually mine. I decided that I'd try and replace the battery. So what I did, I researched on YouTube first how to replace the battery, and there's actually two ways you can do it. You can either go in from the front or go in from the back. Well, I decided to go in from the back because it seems the easiest option. And as you can see, I've already got the back open, so I'm not going to close it up and pretend that I've just started. Because I'd been researching it and I wanted to know how to take off the back, I actually started it, and then suddenly realised that, hang on, I'm not turning my camera on, I can make this into an actual video. So anyone out there who still has the Sony Xperia Z2 and find that they're having problems with the battery, want to change the battery, this is how you do it. Or this is one way you can do it. Actually, look on YouTube, you'll find more expert ways of doing it, but some of them don't have any audio. It just shows you them doing it. There's no explanation or anything. I find that going in from the back is easy. You don't have to heat up the screen. If you're going from the front, you have to heat up the screen and start messing about. If you go from the back, you can just heat up the back slightly. It's just a slim piece, as you'll see, and all that's all it needs. See what I'm pulling out there is the adhesive strip. So do make sure you go out and buy these before you start, because it doesn't actually come with a battery kit. I purchased the battery kit, which came with spudgers, a sucker for taking off the front screen if you're going from the front. It came in with some various screwdrivers for the screws inside. You'll only need one. You get four, you'll only need one. There's the bag in front of me now that I'm holding up, and I'm going to show you now what you get inside it. There's some strips there what I don't know it's for, because there's actually no instruction to tell you what them strips are for. There seem to be somewhat, but obviously that must be if you're going from the front. As I say, because you're going from the back, it's quite easy to do. You get a metal spudger. I'm not holding the bag very clear there because I've just got an overhead camera. That bag I've just put down on the desk is a metal spudger, which you get with it. You get this in the kit. There's the battery, the new battery, and that bag there, all that came in it, and you can see the old battery lying by the keyboard there. That's the new battery in the box, the replacement battery. I did check it to make sure it had the same connectors on it, and I do make a few technical errors which you'll see when I go in. But like I said, I've never done this before, so this was my first time. It's my phone. I wouldn't have done this on anyone else's phone. I would have told them to go somewhere where it can be done, and because I don't want to face the liabilities. So here's the other bag of screws. It's got a screwdriver, it's got a couple of spudgers in it, it's got that screen sucker clamp you can see there. Here it is. I'll open it up and show it you. The screwdriver's doing a runner. Yeah, so there's 4 different types. Now it might all look the same. There's one flathead, and then you got like security screw, like a Torx screw, and like a Phillips screw. So there's actually 4 screws there. They all look the same, but they're not. When you look at the head, they're different. It can't show up on. It doesn't show up very well on this camera because it's overhead camera, and the tips are so fine that you can actually see. So there they are. There's the 4 of them. There's also, as you can see, a couple of spudgers. You got like a toothpick. Put those back in the bag. Then you've got those 2 blue plastic spudgers there. There's the screen clamp that I'm saying. That's what you use to stick on the screen to pull it up. It's just like a little sticky sucker. You've seen them all before. Yeah, when you're lifting the screen, when you heat the screen up with lifting it, that's what you'd use. But if you're going from the back, you won't actually need to. Well, you can actually use it still for the back, but I didn't have to. I found it quite easy. I found it easier going in from the back, but when you do go in from the back, be careful not to snap. When you get it up, there is one connection on the board that you have to disconnect, and then if it's coming in the original, the actual battery is actually glued down. Well, I say glued down. It's not glued down. There's like a sticky sticky pad, like an adhesive pad that holds it to the back, which you have to ease off carefully. Take your time and ease it off. Don't rip it off, because the black backing will rip off the back of the case. There's that metal spudger. It's a metal spudger, two-ended. One's like a flat end, one's like a curved end. Obviously, we're cutting at the adhesive tape. So there's the old battery. There's the connector I'm showing you. That connector there, and that hooks on to there. So when you take the back off, that's the only connector, and all you do is just put a little plastic spudger underneath and just flick it up. It's just like a clip over. And then the battery, as you can see there, is still attached to the back case, but that's only being held on like double-sided tape. So you have to ease that off carefully. Otherwise, if you don't, you'll rip the black backing off. Now, I should tell you, on this case, you see that shield that I'm holding in my hand? That's like a plastic. It's not a soft plastic. It's like what you call a. I've got the word now that I'm looking for. It's more of a rigid. It's more of a rigid plastic, and it's a screen protector. And I got one on the front. That one there that you see me holding up was on the front. There is actually one on the back, which is why the back is so rigid. If I didn't have that on, the back panel will be more flexible. So as you see me now, I'm just making sure that there's like no wires or anything connected to that battery, but it isn't. As I found out later on, it's just double-sided tape, but it's very strong adhesive, so it really does stick. So you just use a pry bar, pry it out, but just take your time. Don't rush it. Just take your time, pry it out. Okay, so what I've got here now, I've actually edited this out a bit. I've cut it down a bit. There you go. That's it. You see how it flicks off now? That's the back battery. That's how easy it is. And all that I'm looking at is I can't believe that was so stubborn, and it was just like a piece of double-sided tape, a bit like surgical tape. Very strong. It's very strong, but do take your time. There's some residue of the old adhesive that holds it around the edge. That's what I'm looking at. So there you go. So that's the battery. I'm just showing you. I'm just looking at it. I just can't believe how strong that bit of tape was. But I'm just making sure that I didn't snap anything, that there was no connectors or anything. Now, originally when I'm looking at it, I was thinking that this battery was in a case. See that black outline? I thought it was in a case, but actually it wasn't, because when I checked the new battery, it's exactly the same. So at first I was thinking, oh, I've got to try and get that battery out of that case, and I was looking how it come out. But as you'll see later on, I didn't have to, because it's not actually in the case. It's not actually a case. It's in. You just put the new battery in. The battery's already come out. All you've got to do is connect it up and put it in. So that's what I was looking at here. So again, I'll just move through this. I won't spend any time faffing about. You don't need to see this. So this is now where I take out the new battery and finally realise that, yeah, it's in the same sort of case. It's designed the same way, so all I've got to really do is just swap one for one. There's nothing to take out. So that's what I was looking at. I'm just looking at the battery. So just open it up, take it out, have a look. compare, and yes. So I don't have no messing about to do. Yep, that's good. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm just making sure, look at the connectors, the same. I did actually check this battery before when it came, actually, because if it was wrong, I'd have had to send it back. But it was just a briefing glance. I didn't really sort of like go into any details as such. No, those sort of like strips there that came with the battery, but I don't know what they are. I didn't see them in any videos showing what they are, explain what they are. There's no instruction with this battery kit. It's just a battery kit, the screwdriver set that you've seen. So I don't know what they're for. The only thing I need was the black adhesive that will go around the back, that slots back into place. And that's the only thing I didn't get. And what I actually did was, when I realised that, I ordered it, and actually it was here the next day. I ordered it that quick, and it was here the next day. I thought it was going to take the time they said for delivery. It shouldn't have been here till Monday, and it was here. I ordered it on Thursday and it came on Friday. So I was really surprised, but very happy, and that's why this video looks like it's continuous, but trust me, it's not. It was done over 2 days. It was done Wednesday, it was done Thursday, and today's Friday when I'm finishing it off. So anyway, don't forget, I'm not an expert on this. I've never done this before. As I say, this is my phone, so I'm just taking my time, checking everything, looking how everything goes, how it was on the original one. I'm just making sure that it's on the new one, and you do take my time. Yeah, I just moved that thing because it wasn't on the other one. I don't know what it was, but I just decided I'll take that one off and put it on the new one. It seemed to work. I don't think it would have made any difference, but never mind. There you go. Now this battery has two. I'm going to show you in a second. What I'm looking at, this battery is designed in such a way it has two little like posts at the bottom, and they slide into grooves inside the bottom of the case. This is what I'm showing you now. I'm trying to angle it in a way because the camera's overhead and it's looking down. I'm trying to show you now, so bring it up. There's like two little slots, one either side. You can just see the point of the spudger in it, and there's one on the other side. And on that battery, it's got like two posts, which is sort of like lower down on the battery, like at the bottom edge of the battery, which slides into there. So you put the bottom edge in first, it slides in, and the top edge has got two screw locations on the top where you put screws in. But I think when they replaced the screen, when I sent it back to replace the screen, they only put one screw in because there was only one screw in there. There was only one screw in there, which I took out previous because I don't open up the case, so obviously you hadn't seen me open it up, so you didn't see it, but you'll see me put it back in after. So I'm just explaining now that that's where the screws are at the top, and they screw up there into that location. But there was no screw in that location when I opened it up. There was only in the other side. There was no screw in that side. I'm just putting the point of the spudger in it, but there was a screw in this side, which is where I put the screw back. So obviously when it went back for repairs, they just sort of like semi-completed it. But obviously I didn't open it up, so I wouldn't have known that. I didn't know that until I actually opened it up and seen it for myself. So that's where I'm surmising the other screw went. Well, it could have only been because prior to that it's never been opened. I never opened it. This is the first time I've ever opened this phone myself. So that goes to show you that not even reputable repair places do things 100% correct. So don't lie. So locating those two posts now into the bottom, and then you push back, and then it slides in, and then it locks in, and there you go. And I'll take out the screw in a minute and stick it in. Now I'm just putting that connector back. Now this connector is a bit fiddly. It's just like a push on, but you've got to line it up right, because if you don't line it up right, you can actually do damage to the connector, because it's very fragile, it's very thin. So you've got to feel it. You'll feel when it sort of like sits on, and once it sits on, you push on. So I did take a couple of minutes. I did sort of like have a little bit of an issue with it. Not so much of a struggle, but the way I was trying to hold the phone and show it you, and it sort of like wouldn't work, and eventually you'll see me put it down on the table, line it up and press it on. So yeah, so I'm just explaining now that there's a connector there, where it goes and how it goes. I'm just showing. The original audio to this was too low. I did do an audio with it while I did it. I did do a commentary while doing it, but when I played it back, the commentary was so low you could hardly hear it. So this is a voiceover. I'm doing a voiceover to compensate. Yeah. Okay. So eventually I'll get it in. I'm feeling it with my fingers. I'll feel it because I'll put it down. You see me say I'm going to put it down because I was trying to do it for the camera for you to see, but it's not that easy. The parts are so fine, and I have such big awkward fingers anyway. My fingers aren't the most nimblest, so I ended up doing it for me. But you should know that when you do this connector, anyone with sort of like slim nimble fingers will find it a lot easier, and you know, and do it in 0.0 seconds. Unfortunately for me, not the case. So do bear with me. So all I'm doing is just making sure that that connector goes on correctly. Yeah. Now again, it's important, it's best to take your time, because if you go through all this of getting the back off, getting the battery in, and then there you go, making sure it's secure and it's on properly, and then you get impatient and you know, take haste and then try and force this connector on. It's only thin and it's a ribbon and it can split, it can rip. You know, then you've done all that work and spent all that money for nothing. So just take your time, and especially if it's your own. You won't be doing it for a YouTube channel unless you want to, like I am. But this is where patience comes in. So just take your time, check everything over, look at it. I'm just checking a few things in the box, because I've suddenly now realised that there is no adhesive. This is where I start looking at things now. There's actually no adhesive to put the backpack on, because I'm now ready to put the backpack on. That's it. I'm sorry, I'm going to put the screw in first to secure the top of the battery. The one screw that came out. I'd put it away. I'm just looking at the spudger actually. I was just making sure that the way it's packed, that they hadn't like packed any adhesive strips in there, but they hadn't, because the adhesive strips comes as it comes as it goes into the case. It comes on a flat, similar to what screen protector type thing. It comes on something similar to that, actually in the shape, so it's not actually folded up, but you don't have to strip it out. It actually comes ready to be peeled off, placed on, peel the other side off, put your back on. There you go. Oh well, you place it onto the back of the screen, then you peel it off, then you put your screen on. So basically what you do, you put the back of your screen down, make sure you've got it in the right orientation, you know, where your camera is, as you'll see when I've done it, because I actually bought two and I slightly messed one up when I was trying to get it out, because it's very fragile and it does stretches, and once it stretches it loses its shape. It can make it awkward because it don't make the seal you want, which you'll see when we get to it. So just be patient. So what am I doing here now? I was looking at something and I forgot what it was I was doing. Oh yeah, no, what I've done is, because I'd realised there was no adhesive, I'm now actually going online. I know you can't see my screen, because I would have to expose, I'd have to display personal information. I'm actually going into my Amazon account and I'm just going to do a quick search for back cover adhesive for Xperia Z2, and it did come up, and that's what I said. I ordered it, and this was, don't forget, this was Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon. I ordered it and it was here Friday morning. It was here this morning. This is Friday morning. This is now Friday, the 29th of July 2022. and I started this on Thursday the 28th of July 2022. So although you're seeing this as one video from start to finish, like, it wasn't. I had to get the adhesive strip, which didn't come with a kit. That was my only disappointment. So I'm just looking there to make sure it wasn't adhesive strips or anything, but those are for something else which I don't know. And there was no information. There was no information in any of the videos that I watched on YouTube how to replace this battery. There was two ways to replace the battery, which was either from the front or from the back. And the front, I say you had to heat the screen up, use that heat screen remover tool to take it off. And then there was one for the back, and when I seen the back one, I thought, well, the back one's a lot easier, so I did it from the back. But the kit didn't come with any back adhesive, so I had to order that. So that's what I'm doing. So that's why you see me. I'm just typing in now and placing the order. So that's what I was doing here. Now don't forget, this was not a live stream. I just turned this camera on and recorded it, and that's why you're getting the complete thing and not two separate streams. Because if it was a live stream, I would have had to end the live stream and then continue today. Well, it would have continued today because I got the adhesive today, but I've just done this as a recorded video, just something for the channel. As I said, I didn't plan to, this is not planned to do, but because I was doing my screen, I thought, well, why not show you that what you can do for yourself if you try. You take your time, do a little bit of research. It can be done if you have a little confidence in yourself. Like I said, there was two options to do this: through the front, which is more complex, and I think I probably would have ruined my phone, or through the back, which I found more easier. I mean, it had its own issues with the strong self-adhesive tape. Now, this phone's a white phone, and as you can see, the back is, well, I've put my hand up now, but as you can see, like, the edge on the back is white, but that black on the inside is like a film. It's like a coating film, so it sort of like acts as insulation and you know, as a backing for the white back, as a backing for the back cover. Now there is a piece on that which I think I'll show you later on, that if I could have actually totally replaced the back cover, but I didn't want to. You see that black side? You see that black thing there? It's like a film on the back of that white cover. And if you want to replace your back cover, there's a piece on there. You see where those, oh, there's two gold. You see where the two gold contacts are. Let me see if I think I was showing. Was I showing it here? Oh, the video aspect ratio. Yeah, you see those gold contacts. There's like a that square piece there, that shape there. You'd actually have to take the whole of it out, and it's only held down by glue again, by adhesive. You'd actually have to lift all that up and put it on a new back cover if you want to get a whole new back cover. But because there's nothing wrong with my back cover, it just requires a tape. I didn't have to do that, so I was happy for that. But if anyone breaks the back cover, please be aware the back cover does not come with those contacts on. And those contacts connect to two posts which are on the side of the screen, which I will show you in a minute. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I think I was, again, I think I was looking up back covers for this Xperia Z2 because I wasn't sure if I needed to replace the back cover, but in the end I didn't have to. So, but like I say, take your time, research things, especially if you're doing it for yourself. You're under no pressure. This video I will edit down, but I just want to bring up some of the key points, some of the mistakes I made, although I realised them and rectified them. So the process seems a bit longer, but it'll be a bit quicker for you. Like I say, part of it was the tape that held the battery. That held me up a bit because I want to make sure I didn't rip any contact off, but I can tell there's no contacts under there to rip off. It's just very strong adhesive tape, but take your time taking it off if you don't want to ruin your back cover or have to get a new back cover. So I don't know what I'm doing here, but we'll skip this. Okay, so now this is Friday. Here's my cover adhesive. The adhesive for the back cover that I've got came today, as I said. And there you go. That's what I meant when I said it come all ready to go on to the back cover. Now I did get 2 of these, which I'm glad I did, because I did mess up the first one, because I've got my isopropyl alcohol here, which I'm going to try and clean some of the residue of the old adhesive off the back cover, you know, hopefully to make a better connection. So cleaning I don't think we need to see, so I'll pause it there. New adhesive strip. I just want to see if I can. I don't want to use a metal spudger on this. As you can see here, some of the back has been, the black backing has been ripped off the white fascia, because the back of this is white, but inside on the back of it is this black coating. It's like a shield, which is what the adhesive stick to. Now at the same time, on the back of this, why it's so rigid, is that I've got a tempered glass protector, similar to the screen. So if you remember when I showed you, similar to this, which is a front screen protector, it's like a tempered glass. It is like acrylic, but it's like an acrylic tempered glass. It's not soft and floppy like the other ones. It doesn't bend that easy. This will actually snap if you push it far enough. Well, there is actually one on the back of here as well. It's put on that well that you can't actually see it. So I'm just going to clean this up with some isopropyl alcohol. See, sometimes I get it out, that word isopropyl, and other times my tongue can't get around it. Weird that, isn't it? So let's just clean this up a bit, give the adhesive something to grip to. Get rid of some of this debris. Now in theory I should actually warm this up a bit and scrape this glue off. Now remember when I was telling you about if you have to change the back cover, you see that piece that I've just there, those contacts. Well, you see the like rectangular or squarish, not more rectangular in it, more rectangular squarish piece. That piece would have to be removed from that old back cover and placed onto your new one. Now that piece is only held on by, again, adhesive, so you'd have to peel it off very, very carefully, because I think it has traces in it, and you have to make sure you don't rip any of them traces. So you have to take it off very carefully, and we'd have to place it on the new back cover, because those 2 bronze tip contacts that you see there connected to those two pins that was showing you in the fold. Those 2 there, that there's like 2 pads, contact pads on that, and underneath that you can see how it's slightly raised. There's actually traces underneath. Obviously it makes a circuit for something which is required, and it connects to those 2 pins that I showed you before. So if you wanted to put a new back cover on, you would have to carefully remove that, and again you'd have to carefully place it in the correct position on your new back cover so it lines up with the 2 pins. So that's what I was talking about before, earlier in the video, when I said you would have to remove that off the back cover if you were replacing the back cover. But I'm not replacing the back cover. So what I'm doing here now, I found some old residue of the adhesive, and I think part of it has gone hard and brittle. I'm just scraping it off with a plastic spudger. You can see some white spots on the back cover. That is due to where I've actually scratched through the membrane, that black membrane, but it won't actually do any harm because it doesn't carry any traces as such. But that's what I was on about, that black membrane. And the reason why this back cover is stayed in place so well is because of that glass protector. Yeah, that glass protector that I put on the back. It actually held it in place, and it actually kept the back cover together, and that's why my back cover was easy to remove. If I'd have just done it on the normal suit cover, it probably would have been easy to remove, but it probably would have had more technicality and difficulty in it. But that rear back cover, that tempered glass back cover, they call it tempered glass, but it's not tempered glass. It's actually a very hard acrylic. It flexes, but only very little. If you flex it far enough, it will actually break. But it's designed to take a lot more impact and to be a lot more resilient than the normal sort of like plastic flexi cover that you put on, to stop scratches. This allows you these are designed for the Xperia Z2 because it allows you to still use contact, your touch screen panel, your finger contact, and even glove. If you've got a glove on, there's a setting in it that allows you to use. If you've got gloves on, you can actually still do your contact. You can still do select your menus and all the normal functions you do as you do with your finger, which not all phones allow you to do. But there's Xperia Z2 do, and these tempered glass protectors are designed for the XP that allows all that. But you have to go into your settings and change it to allow glove operation. So what I'm doing here now, there's some hard residue of the old adhesive around, especially around the front edge of the back panel. And as you can see, the back panel is just a flat panel that sits in. That's why it's so much easier than doing a front panel removal. That's much easier than having to remove the screen and mess about just to get to the battery. It's actually just as easy. This is probably, I would say, in my opinion, not everybody else's, so don't start jumping on me. In my opinion, this is probably the easiest way to change the battery on an Xperia Z2 is to go via the back. But if you are going to go via the back, make sure you go out and get the rear adhesive before you do. When you buy the battery pack, it comes with all those tools that show, depending where you get it from. Mine did, and as I said, it was very inexpensive, really. 12 pounds. I don't think that's too much, because you're getting 4 screwdrivers, 2 straight spudgers, 2 piano pick and another spudger similar, plus also the screen removal sucker, so plus the battery. I mean, the battery in itself alone could have cost 12 quid, never mind anything else. So this is actually not a bad deal. When you do get the rear adhesive, I suggest you get 2, simply because just in case you mess up the first one, providing you learn from your mistake, you got the second one as a backup. I'm glad I did, because I did mess up the first one, but I had the second one as a backup, which it saved me a lot of time. I didn't have to wait while I reorder it, and it actually worked out cheaper. It was free delivery depending where you get it from. As I said, I ordered mine the Thursday, it was here the Friday. This looks like I'm doing it in one video, but I'm not. It's done over 2 days. So there you go. Now I'm just trying to get some of the, there's like a build up of, I don't know if it's actually the screen film itself, that black screen, but it's really hard. It's nothing like the actual adhesive, and I'm trying to scrape it off. You can see on the back cover there that some of that black membrane is scratched around the edges, but I'm not really too bothered about that, because it's not any vital part, and it doesn't actually show through because that's on the back and you only see the white case when it's on. So I'm not really too bothered about that. It's nothing too aggressive. There you go. Now that's the adhesive I was on about. Like I said, get 2. Now when I actually apply this first one, I didn't apply it correctly, because what I thought was that you applied it, you took that part off, then you put it into the case and into the groove, but you don't. What you actually do is you put it on the back cover itself. So I did mess up this first one, so this is a bit of an error, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I say take your time and learn. Now I'm going to show you all because it's an experience, and what I'm trying to do is stop you making that mistake. So if you want to sort of like change your battery and go through the experience, you can see the mistakes I make so you don't make them. If I hide the mistakes and pretend I never make mistakes, then I'm not learning. You don't learn if you don't make mistakes. You make mistakes, you learn from it, and you move on, so you don't make that mistake again. Now this is a mistake I made because I thought that's what you did, and then you pressed it into there, and then it should like come off, but it doesn't. It didn't work. What I actually found was I needed to put that onto the back cover, then put the back cover in. But as you can see here, I messed up. But we'll see. It's a learning experience. But watch the mistake I make. I mean, I could have probably got away with this if I could have probably got the adhesive to stick down into the groove without coming out and then peel away from the back cover. Then I just slide the back cover in. But I didn't. But as you can see, as I say, you don't learn anything if you don't make mistakes. If anybody thinks that they're perfect, and when you see all these YouTube video where they never make mistakes or they do it all right first time, let me tell you, it's not true. They don't. A lot of people make mistakes, but they cover it up. And I don't think mistake is anything to be ashamed of. It's a learning experience, and it's only something. This is what you would have done if you never done it for the first. Are you doing it for the first time? If you've never done it before, you're doing it for the first time. These are the sort of mistakes you would make. But look, watch my mistakes, learn from them, and then don't make those mistakes. The thing is now, if ever I had to do, if say for any reason, this battery turns out to be absolutely rubbish, and dies on me, and I have to change it again. I know the procedure now, so I won't make that mistake again of replacing the adhesive. However, in saying that, this phone, as I say now, is not a phone that I use on a daily basis. Such, it's a phone that it goes out on holiday with me, and once it comes back from holiday and I've downloaded my photos and made my videos or whatever, it's then parked up till I'm ready to go away again. So this is just a holiday phone, and the only thing I'll keep on it is like emergency contact if I have to, you know, any required phone numbers that I need. But there's no customer phone numbers on this as such, just any required phone numbers that I need, you know, and just basically I just want it as a pocket camera in the event that I don't have my video camera with me and I go anywhere, and you know there's something I like to see or record or show, I can just pull my phone out and record it. If I need to just contact someone in emergency, I've got the emergency number in it, I carry it, and that's it. There's nothing else on this phone. Yeah, and as I say, it's a very good phone. It was a good phone in its time, the Sony Xperia Z2 when they came out. Though it's now an older model phone, it's still good for this kind of process. And if I'm doing any sort of like repairs on customer PCs, and I need to sort of like, if it's a PC I'm unfamiliar with, and I need to sort of like do a video of process that I'm doing that I'm not familiar with, then I can record it and then watch it back. So it's good for that, you know. It still has a purpose, you know. It's not just going to landfill. I'm not one of these people that say, oh, don't need it now, it's no good. It has a purpose. It can serve a purpose, and a very good purpose. It's end of life as maybe a daily user, but not end of life as a backup for emergencies or for any little projects I want to do. So there you go. So like I said, I did mess up this first one, as you'll see, because I thought maybe you put it on and then try, and it didn't work. It messed up. It didn't work, and as you'll see later on, I actually ended up getting the second one out, which I'm glad I bought, putting it on the back cover, putting it in, and away you go. And that is called learning from experience, and never be afraid to learn. And listen, a lot of people think making a mistake is it shows incompetence, it shows you think you're dumb enough. It's not true. It's not true. People that mistakes and learn from it are the brightest people in the world. People that think that never make mistakes are the dumbest people in the world, because they do make mistakes, but they don't want to admit it. Not admitting your mistake is a failure. Look, I made a mistake, but what did you learn from it? Well, I learned that if I put it on the back cover and not try to put it in a groove, it works better. So you've learned something. So you've not failed, have you? You've learned from your mistake. Now you move on. So the next time somebody say, hey, can you put a back cover on the next piece? Yeah, sure. And you've got the confidence to do it now, because the mistake you made, you say, well, I'm not going to make that mistake what I did with her. Do it once, do it right, and I've got it. So as you can see here, a few technical error. I was trying all sorts, and then obviously it hit me. Put it on the back cover, line it up, make sure I know where my camera is, because the camera is at the top, so that's where the thinnest part go, and then where those, the bottom part where you've got those angled corners, they go to the bottom. So you put that on the bottom of the back cover. But like I said, so I'm trying to show people it's not a crime to make a mistake. What the crime is not learning from your mistake. If you learn from your mistake, then there's no shame in it. Always be open-minded. Always know you're not perfect. Always know if you've never done something before, be prepared to make a mistake, because you're going to make a mistake. But if you learn from that mistake, then you're on the right road, because you won't make that mistake again. You won't make that mistake again. So if you do have to do this again for any reason, or I have to do this again for any reason, i.e. I find out that the battery is useless, or it's anything, then obviously when it comes to putting the seal on, I won't make that mistake that I did the first time. So there you go. Now you see the difference. So now make sure the camera is in the right place, which is that rectangular, which is at the top. And then what I'll do is, so this is the second one now. So I've learned my mistake. So now that first one is a bit ruined, so I'm not going to put it on, because it also makes a water sealant, so if it rains and that water can't get in. So now, see, you learn from your mistake the first time. Obviously, I just lay it down. I haven't pressed down yet, because what I'm looking at, it's not lined up correctly. So I need to lift it up again. So as you can see, I need to lift it up again, and then just readjust it. But you see how easy that was? And then what you then do, you just put the back into the, because the back actually fits right into that groove. You see? So the second time, so the second attempt, and here we go. so there you are, guys. That's the job done. So that's the back cover on. That's the case complete. So now I'll just turn it on. I'm not actually charged this battery up yet from when I got it, so it's going to be at the power capacity of when it arrived, but I'm just making sure everything works. So there we go, it's starting up, no problems here. You'll see a in the top left, as you're looking at it, you'll see a message saying no SIM card, gift gaff. But there is a SIM card in it. It just takes a bit of time to be recognised because it's just starting up. It's a new battery, and then after that, I'll put the battery on charge. I'll hook it up, put the battery on charge, and that's it. But that's the job done. So there you see, it's not really that hard. I know this video is a bit long drawn out. It's took 47 minutes. Remember, this is the first time I've done it. This is my phone. I've done this myself for the first time to replace the phone, because I know if I'd have sent it to Sony, they would have probably charged me £100 to do it, and I know it's not that. So I just looked at a few videos on YouTube how to replace the battery. When I got the battery, it was a battery pack that came with a few tools and essentials. Yes, it didn't come with the back adhesive strips because I went through the back, but I ordered them on the Thursday afternoon and I got them the Friday morning, so I've completed. I'm just here now. It is all up to date because I did have it all charged up and up to date on the old battery as it is. The old battery I'll just take to the tip and throw it away when I next go to the tip. But now there it is, it's ready. This is my system now. This is my my phone now for holiday, so it's ready for my cruise in December. As I say, I take it with me. I do have a camcorder come camera that I take with me, a little mini one. It's not massive, but it's a good quality camcorder. But there are times when we go out on excursions and stuff where I don't take it with me, but I've got my phone, and because the SD card will give me more capacity, storage capacity, because I don't always want to carry my camera around, I've got my phone in my pocket. I can just whip it out. I've got a quick start camera button on the bottom right of the phone, just where my thumb was, where I'm pressing now. That's a quick start camera. There's the camera kicking in, and it just starts up the camera. Obviously, because the battery's changed, it's got to do some initialization process, but that's okay. All that'll be done before we're going on holiday. I say my cruise is not till December anyway. So yeah, that's that done. That's that ready. I'll charge that up. I'll put there's no actual SD card in it at the moment because I was doing the battery, but I will put an SD card in there. And so I've got that as a pocket phone, pocket camera, and like I say, all I put on it is just like emergency contact numbers if I need them, and it's just for, as I say, recording, taking photos, recording videos. Then when I come home, I download to my PC and all the rest of it. So just carry the essential on it. I don't put any other apps on it, as I don't need. I have got a tablet which I take with me, which has got all my books and stuff on it, so I don't have to carry books. I was just looking to see if I could put that front screen camera on there, but it's got an adhesive film on it which has now come off, so it won't stick anymore. But I don't really care because, like I say, this is not a daily user, not a daily user phone anymore. I had that on when it was a daily user phone, obviously because of the knocks and scrapes and things that it goes through. It's in my pocket with keys, coins, and all the rest of it. Now it's not. It sits at home in a drawer. When I go out on holiday, a couple of days before I go, I charge it up, and make sure everything's going. I make sure I've got data on it, because any other time I don't have any. It's connected to the gift gap, which pays you go, so I don't actually re-top it. I don't top it up until I need to. Then I put a top up on it for my holiday. Make sure it's all charged up. Make sure all the OS is up to date, everything. And then away you go. So that is it. That is it. So like I said, I've never done this before. I've never opened up this phone before, but I'm just showing you that things can be done if you take your time. I did this for myself, and then I just thought I'd turn the camera on and show you how to do it. This is a Sony Xperia Z2. It's an old phone now. I know there's other phones about, but if you've bought a phone and you've still got it, and maybe this is your issue, that the battery is letting you down, you don't really want to get the phone. The phone can be used for other purposes. You can repurpose your phone for other projects. Especially if you're no longer on a contract with it, you can use a pay-as-you-go. You can just get a pay-as-you-go and just top it up when you need to. I find giffgaff is brilliant for that. I mean, you choose whatever service provider you want. I'm not saying that's the only one. I'm just saying that's the one I'm on for this phone, is giffgaff. I just use it for that. I'll just clean it up. Now this will go in a drawer now until I'm ready to go on holiday. When I'm ready to go on holiday, maybe 4 or 5 days before I'm due to leave, I'll bring it out, charge it up, put an SD card in it with a high capacity, and as I say, I use that when we go out on excursions. For phone, I'll probably put a streaming app on it. Well, I've got my YouTube streaming app, but I'll probably put some sort of YouTube app on it that I can stream and probably do videos as I go along, and then I can just post them up to my Facebook or my YouTube or whatever, so you can see as I'm going along what I'm doing. And that's all. I don't put anybody as personal data on it. I'll just keep emergency contact numbers in it should I need it, like such things like insurance and an emergency contact should anything happen, and that's it. I don't put anything else on it. I just put relevant apps that I need. Anything else, everything else comes off it, and then it's just basically as a photograph and video camera mobile service device, and that is it. So thank you guys for watching. That's it. Take care. Goodbye.